Okay, so this is the first of hopefully many CP stories that we at CPMG, the Checkpoint Media Group, will do. That's about the end of my robotic. I had to do that. And it's kind of scrapped together, but we're working with the best. Our executive producer is sitting right next to me. Or no, that's not. What's the name? What's the official name? No, he can't. He's mute. And deaf. It's very sad. Anyway, so the first story that I want to talk about is for No Man's Sky. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have to be that professional. No, we can keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Sure, we can
cut anything. All right. So the first CP story that I'm going to talk about is for No Man's Sky, and I think that's a great place to start because it was one of the biggest sort of expected, anticipated, you name it, releases of all time, and it released, we'll say mixed reviews. Got mixed reviews, mostly negative, and one of the biggest one of the biggest arguments that people made as to why the game wasn't living up to their standards was that there was like a complete and utter lack of story. I am here to tell you that I completely disagree with that, and that's because No Man's Sky is a wonderful playground for you to make your own stories, and I'm going to tell you one right now that I did. So basically, you can come upon so many anomalies on planets and throughout the galaxy, and one set anomaly is a crashed ship. And so I was on this planet. You could do like a planetary or like a galactic scan of the area, and basically there were, on this one planet that I was looking at, it popped up like a beacon saying there's a crash ship here, gotta go. Started flying to that area. I'm like, I had kind of not the best ship, I had kind of a crappy ship already. It's like, cool, this could be an upgrade. Get down, land on the planet, I see the ship, and it was ugly as shit. But the good news was it had one extra inventory slot. So what I did is you can just basically exchange. So like I took the ship that I had, and I didn't kind of realize this at the time. It just sort of disappears, and then you are left with your new crashed ship. And it's still crashed, so there is no lifting off this planet. Mind you, I should mention that the planet was a hazardous planet, meaning like you're constantly dealing with the environment. So like, I believe the one thing that this planet had was like acid rain or some shit like that. So you're kind of having to like deal with that on top of like, I didn't have many resources because it was still pretty early in the game, and I didn't have much of inventory slots in my previous ship, which was now gone, and my EVA suit. It's like the suit you wear during the game. Anyways, so I have this crashed ship. It's fucking broken. I have to gather all these ingredients to get it on this shitty ass fucking planet that has acid rain. All the while, sentinels are coming after you, especially which are like the sort of like space drones that are like space cops. And when you try to mine anything, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of in this boat now until I found Vortex Cubes. And I want to tell you about Vortex Cubes. They are how I went from zero to hero. I mean, I Jay-Z'd that shit. I became a fucking mogul. I found they're just these dumb little cubes, right? And so they were scattered all over the planet, mostly in like little cave areas. So I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. It was just something you picked up. You pick one up and it takes up one inventory slot. I went and I picked up a bunch of them. I did eventually get my ship up and running. And so what I did is, once I finally fixed the ship, I took these up. You have to fly off the planet into space. And then every galaxy that you're at has a space station. You go to the space station and you essentially can trade these. And you trade anything, but I had Vortex Cubes on me. And I traded them, and you could trade them to people that, other NPC characters that would fly their spaceships in. You could try to trade with them. Otherwise, there was a galactic market that you could trade at that kind of was always changing prices, whether it's like higher or lower than the galactic average. And they were pretty precious commodity. So I was like, hell yeah, like I'm gonna sell them. So I sold them all, went back to the planet, stocked up on Vortex Cubes, and I kept flying to space, and I was like, This is great. Like, I'm getting a lot of money, but I wonder if there's a faster way to do this. There was, of course, because it's No Man's Sky and you make your own fucking stories. So what I did was I found a trader that was actually on Planet, and I mean, I had this shit down to a science. I would just stock up on Vortex Cubes, put them all in my body, put them all in my fucking ship, walk on over to this guy, this one little ugly little alien bastard that happened to have a galactic trading network behind him, sell all the Vortex Cubes. I made like 8 million units, which is a lot. Went back up to, I saw I was, at this point, I had well enough money to buy a new ship after fixing the shitty one, like, so soon. And I saw a ship once that looked very similar to the Firefly class of ships in Serenity and Firefly. And so that was it. Like, that was what I wanted. Like, and I would not rest until I found it. And so I probably spent the next 3 to 5, maybe not 5, 3 or 4 hours of game time literally just looking for this ship. And I finally found it, not even knowing anything about it, just that I thought it looked really cool and it had like those really great, sort of, if you've ever watched Firefly or Serenity, those kind of like those like sort of like turbine engines. I get that ship, I spend my money on it. It has like, 10 more inventory slots, like it looks really cool. I didn't even know this. That ship came with a warp reactor, and everything changed then, because now I'm before you jump like one galaxy at a time, and now I'm jumping like 5 or 6 galaxies at a time. I'm fucking trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the Atlas story, and like nobody knows, some religion or alien thing, and I'm getting shit robbed by space pirates because I'm just stacked with Vortex Cubes, and they're like, we got robbed this dude. Like, he can't just be, like, I was like a drug cart. I felt like a drug cartel, Scarface with Vortex Cubes, as these other guys were like, this can't go. Like, this guy is running the galaxy. Like, I was doing like a black market Vortex Cube operation. I was rich as shit. And I got my warp reactor. The moral of this story is, No Man's Sky is pretty fine, but it does have opportunities. Some of those reviews are totally right. But it has a lot of opportunity to get better with patches, and it kind of, the world is your oyster. The world is your the sandbox and playground to do whatever you want. And some of the best stories that I have had in that game were made by myself. Like, I created my own adventures and created my own fun, and that's just one of the stories that I had there. And check out the game. That was the first CP story, one of many. Thank you for listening.